Soda Pop Fizz, and we're here for, well, a little bit of, a mod showcase. My first mod showcase, actually. And, yeah, I found some really interesting terrain over here, so I thought I would, start it over here, because it looks very interesting. But yeah, so, basically, I'm doing my first mod spotlight on a mod. So, basically what we're doing here is Blood Magic. Blood Magic is a pretty sweet mod, and by the way, all the mods that I will be doing are going to be in my modded survival, which I will be making, hopefully soon. But, yes, sorry if there's any glitches or anything, because I probably will be getting a new computer, probably, so, yeah. So yeah, basically what Blood Magic is it has a lot of special magical type things to the game that you can make, and there's a lot to cover, so we better get into things. It's a pretty cool mod though. You can just do all the sorts of magic, spells, I guess there's a way to make potions, you can make cool armor, you can make cool effects, all these types of things, and I'll tell you how to do all that. So, when you get in, and you want to begin Blood Magic, the first thing you're going to want to make is a blood altar. Basically, how you make a blood altar is 4 stone, a furnace, 2 gold, and a diamond. So it's, not super expensive, but yeah. So you want to place that down. You won't be able to click on it or interact with it, but it's there. So, the next thing you want to make is a sacrificial knife. It's really easy to make. Just 5 glass, a gold ingot, and an iron ingot, and you can get yourself one of these. Now, what you want to do with this is you want to walk up, because I will give an example, actually. I'll give you an example. Give me 1 second. I always type that wrong. I try to give myself steak, and I always type search instead. I don't know why. I guess the T button isn't very well. So, yeah. Now, what you can do with this thing is if you right-click with it near your blood altar. You have to be near the blood altar. If you're like back this far away, or then you want to be like within 1 or 2 blocks, you will lose a heart, and you will see a little bit of blood essence go into this altar. Okay, be careful with this though, because every time you click it, you will lose a heart. But you want to be careful because you can actually kill yourself with this. So yeah, that's something to be cautious about. Anyway, every time you click it, you will be giving yourself 200 life points, and it will be putting it into this altar here. You may see it disappear, but don't worry, it's still in there. It's just, I guess, lower in the tank thing. So yeah, one of the things you're gonna want to make with this, because like I said, every time you every time you click it, you will be giving yourself a 200 life points per heart. Okay, so what you want to do, what you're gonna want to do now is you're gonna want to make yourself a thing called a slate. Okay, you may see there's several different versions of slates, so I will explain how you make all those in a minute. But yeah, make yourself a slate, because you're going to need a lot of these later on. It's basically you just put 1 stone in when you have 1,000 life points. So remember, 200 per heart, so I'm just going to do it in creative, give myself a little bit extra, and then you want to put a stone into the blood altar. It'll take a couple seconds, and you should see it transform eventually. Here, let me... Oh, that scared the crap out of me, actually. So yeah, takes a couple seconds, and boom, there we go. We have a slate. Pretty simple to make. Another thing you're going to want to make is after you have 2,000, you're going to want a weak blood orb. This is a very important thing in the blood magic. So if you basically just do this by putting a diamond in when you have 2,000 life points. So that's 10 hearts. So I'm just going to give myself on creative. Okay. And then I'm going to put a diamond in. Alright. And this will take a little bit longer. So yeah, let's just give this a little bit of time. So this will be doing its thing. Take a little bit of time. Alright, so I'm just going to get into the next thing that you're going to want to make is blood runes. Alright, these things are like, I mean, they're not really expensive, but they will seem to get expensive later on. Okay, but, they're not really expensive, just, it's, as they are a lot of stone. Okay. As you can see, this just transformed, and we have our weak blood orb now. But now, if you want to make a room, simply just 6 stone and 2 blank slates, and then you want to use your weak blood orb. Wait for it to appear here, and yeah, there it is. All right, so you can make it with the weak blood orb. Don't worry, if you put this in a crafting table, you're not actually wasting your blood orb. It'll just come back to you when you're done. It doesn't even have durability or anything, so yeah. Alright, so then what you want to do is you're gonna, after you have a bunch of these runes, you're gonna need 9 of them. You're going to, I always break that block too, just because. So you're going to want to put 8 of them, my bad, not 9, 8 of them around the edge of the blood altar. That's weird. Okay, there we go. As you can see, it says tier 2 right here, and I will explain what this thing is in a second. So, what you want to do after you have your blood altar, basically you want to make this thing called a Divination sigil. Alright. So, the Divination sigil, it's basically just 7 glass, a blank slate, and your weak blood orb, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, weak blood orb, and you can make yourself a Divination sigil. Now, what you can do with this is you can actually see how much essence is stored in your blood altar just by simply right-clicking, alright? As you can see, I have 3,800 LP in there, and it has a capacity of 10,000, alright? So, actually, upgrading altars doesn't actually, because if I break, like, one of these blocks, you can see it's back to tier 1, right? Because you need to have the 8 blocks around it, and then it upgrades it to a tier 2. If you don't, as you can see, capacity is 10,000, and now if I place this back down, whoops, not that. It is once again 10,000, so the capacity isn't going to change, alright? So, what you can do is, you might have noticed there are more than just the blood rune. If you search runes, you can see there's all these different types of runes. Alright? The only one I don't know what it does is the rune of acceleration. So I think that's a brand new rune. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really see it anywhere. So I'm just going to show you all the rest. So here we go. Right here we have the rune of augmented capacity. Basically what this does is, if we get ourselves the Divination sigil again, and you can see, like I said, there's a capacity of 10,000. If we place this rune of augmented capacity where one of these other ones are, by the way, you can craft this 3 buckets. Some of these involve, it's probably not going to be a weak blood orb. You're probably going to need a actually, yeah, you need a tier 3 for this, but I will tell you how to do that. Anyway, if you want to do runes, you're going to have to wait till you have a tier 3. This is a tier 2, but I'm just going to explain what they do. For start, you can't do these 4 corners, alright? You can only do the ones that are right next to the blood altar. What this does, is now if I click on it again, as you can see, the capacity went up. The rune of augmented capacity, basically, it just increases the maximum. Now if I get rid of it, you'll see, wait for it, it takes a couple seconds to load, and there we go, it's back. And I did not mean to break that. Whoops. What? That was weird. Okay. So, alright. Now there's also several runes. I'm not going to give you all of them, but for now, remember, you can only do them next to there, but later on you'll be able to do more, okay? So you can also do the rune of dislocation, which speeds it up when this is being pumped. I'll tell you how to pump it, because you can actually pump blood essence from here. So yeah. So that just speeds that up. The rune of the orb, it basically just increases the LP going into the soul network, which I will also tell you what that is. Rune of superior capacity just increases, it's basically like the augmented capacity, but, you know, increased. Speed rune basically just increases the speed of things being made in here. Efficiency rune makes you lose less if you don't have enough. Like, if, let's say you're doing something in here, right? And you see the red particle effects. If you don't have enough life points in the altar to make something, you'll start seeing white particle effects, and it will slowly make you lose your progress on whatever you're trying to make. So you have to make sure you have enough life points. This just makes it lose less, okay? Lose less progress. Rune of the Sacrifice, if you search, if you get a dagger of sacrifice, which is simply just made by an iron sword and 3,000 life points in a tier 2 altar, you can get yourself one of these. And now, what this does is if there's any mobs nearby, like if I have a pig spawn egg, it works for anything, hostile, everything. And I kill it near there, because this, if there's like a pig over here, it's not going to do much damage, as you can see. It does like 1 heart, so you might as well just do, yeah. But use near this, it will actually kill them, and it will take their life points and put it in there. Alright? The Rune of Sacrifice just increases how much LP goes in there if there's an enemy nearby. Okay? And finally, there is the Rune of Self-Sacrifice, which just increases how much LP you get from using the sacrificial knife. So yeah, runes are very, very cool. A few of them take the tier 2 or 3 altars, so I will get into that in a little while. Alright. So, you understand that you can increase the stuff of this. What's the purpose of it, you know? What do you want to do? So what we're going to start taking a look at is sigils. As you can see, there are a lot of sigils. I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to do a couple. What these do, I'm just going to take the water, air. I'm going to take the ones that are probably the coolest. And most, you already know how to make the divination, so I'm not going to get into that. Actually, yes, we will need that. Whirlwind, Phantom Bridge, and I'll get more later. So, what you can do is each one of these require a different tier blood altar, alright? So, if you want to make this, actually just in a crafting table, you just put these in there and do that, and there you go. It's pretty simple. Okay, you can also get this thing called a lava crystal, which I will tell you in a couple minutes. So, what you can do with these, because they each have different recipes, I will go through them, but we want to start with the water sigil. This is simply how you make it. You need a weak blood orb, and basically what it does is it uses life points from your soul network. What your soul network is it is actually just, if you click this, okay, it's not going to tell you how much is in here. This, how much is in the altar, is different from this. Okay? They're completely separate. If you just right-click it anywhere, it doesn't matter, except for the blood altar. And it's all it's basically doing is showing you how much you have in your soul network. How you get stuff in your soul network is all you have to do is use your weak blood orb. That's why the sacrificial knife is different from the weak blood orb. The blood orbs, they actually give you it and put it in your soul network. So as you can see now, I have 12,000. I'm not using this. This is completely different. This is if you use the sacrificial knife and you're near it, right? So, completely different. With that, you can actually make things with sigils. What sigils do is it just drains things from your soul network. As you can see, I have 12,000. This will place a water source block. Now, it uses, as you can see, it uses 100 life points per use, and you basically just have infinite water where you can place everywhere, right? There's also some, as you can see, I have 1,700. There's also the lava sigil, which actually uses 1,000 life points, okay? So each one of these will use a different amount of life points depending on how much you use it, so you want to make sure you have quite a bit of life points stored, alright? So, if you do not have enough life points and you're trying to use one of these, it will damage you. It'll actually start taking the health from you, so if you try to use it, let's say you have absolutely 0 life points and you try to use the lava sigil. Since it's 10 hearts, well, not 10 hearts, 5 hearts? Yeah, I think it's 5 hearts. It'll actually take half your health just from you instantly. So you want to be careful and you want to make sure you have enough, okay? I'm just going to use the Orb of Creative Mode testing because it's just for creative mode and it gives you a whole bunch of life points, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a couple cool things you can do with sigils. Alright. You already know you can do the lava and the fire, but you can also do a sigil of whirlwind. Basically what this does is if you activate it, you just activate it by right clicking, it gives you whirlwind 2. And it sort of, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm guessing it just like gives you a whirlwind effect if you yeah. I'm not exactly sure that one works very well, but it's pretty cool, I guess. Alright. There's also the sigil, the water sigil I already know about. There's also a sigil of haste. Basically what this does is it gives you speed and jump boost, which is pretty awesome if you want to run around fast. And you don't even have to jump when you run up blocks. I'm being attacked by a spider. Alright. Keep in mind, the ones that don't activate once, it's just slowly draining it from your soul network, alright? You can also do the air sigil, which basically boosts you wherever you click it. Wherever you click. It's pretty sweet, and so you can actually like fly if you click it a whole bunch. It's pretty sweet, right? There's also the sigil of the vast miner, which basically, if you have a pickaxe, let's say a stone pickaxe, and you use this, it will give you, I'm gonna make it day. Okay. It will basically just give you, whoops, I'm still on creative. It'll basically just give you haste so that you can mine a whole lot faster. Alright? So yeah. You also have Sigil of the Phantom Bridge, which is personally my favorite of all of them. So yeah. Okay. Basically what this one does is if you shift click and you shift and right click, wait, that's weird. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, when you click each of these, you're going to need to click it once just to make it bound to you. So that means anyone that uses it will be using it from your soul network. So if you use it, it's bound to you. There we go. Here it is. So basically, this one, everywhere you go, you will have a phantom bridge underneath. You can even do stuff like use the air sigil, go in the air, and the bridge will disappear behind you. You go in there, and then you shift, and boom, it's here. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Wait. Oh yeah, you need to deactivate. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of sigils, and they can quickly, like, get annoying to have to carry them all around in your inventory. So what you have for this is the sigil of holding. You just shift, and it will slowly start to pick up sigils from your hotbar and inventory. I believe you can only have a couple stored at once. I don't believe you can carry too many. Yeah, you can only have 4, I guess. And so, yeah, it's pretty neat. You shift and then right click and it will scroll through each one, and then you can just easily use it from there. Alright. So, yeah. There's a couple more sigils available. You can get, I'm just going to tell you what they do. The sigil of the Green Grove basically just grows things around you. The signal of magnetism, basically, if there's items around you, you just turn it. Like, let's say you're mining and stuff, and your inventory, like, you could just use this, and all the items will, like, immediately go to your inventory, like, that are on the ground. Okay? A sigil assessing, I'm not exactly sure what that one does. I'm not exactly sure what any of these ones do. This one's actually pretty cool, so I'm going to show you that. It makes you shoot, like, lights, and it basically shoots fire everywhere. It looks kind of weird in the daytime, but, yeah. There's plenty more sigils if you want to take a look at it for yourself. So, yeah, now let's get into the lava crystal. Only other sigils, but there's this thing called a lava crystal, which is awesome. I love this thing. It's actually used in the creation of making this. I'm actually going to show you how you make all these. Sigil of Vast Miner, that's how you make that. That. Sigil of Holding. Vision Sigil, you already know. And, Blood Lamp. There's several more, so you're going to have to check them out for yourself. Alright, so we have the thing called a lava crystal. It's actually used in the creation of the, lava sigil, like the lava crystal is. So, let's say we have a furnace. Let's say we have a ton of cobblestone. Not cobble. Let's say we want to cook a bunch of cobblestone into stone for some slates or something. Alright, what you can do is you place this down. This is bound to your store network as soon as you click it. As you can see, there we go. It's now mine. And it's tied to my soul network. What I love about this thing is it barely uses any of your soul network stuff. I don't know why this isn't working right now. There we go. So, if you were to put this into where your coal or whatever would go, and then you put this in, it has no durability, and it's just purely draining essence from your soul network as it smelts things. As you can see, there we go, a little bit has gone away. It doesn't actually use very much. It uses like 25, actually. Looks like it uses 25 points per smelted item, which is actually pretty good in my book. I really like this because I feel like I never have to use coal again, you know. Pretty cool. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for the first part of the mod spotlight for the first mod showcase part of Blood Magic. There's several more. We're going to have to get into a lot more, like upgrading your altar, how you can make cool armor, like sort of like making potions and stuff, and there's just so much more, and teleposers and so much more to get into. So yeah, I will catch you guys next time.